John here from UK Tech Review, and today I'm going to be reviewing the LG GT540. It's marketed as a sort of entry-level Android phone for people who want to move on to Android from phones that aren't really a smartphone. Like I moved on from a Sony Ericsson K800i, and I found this quite enjoyable to be moving on to Android from an older handset. This phone's in black. It does come in grey and white. We've got a 3 megapixel camera on the back. It's not too bad in use. It's quite quick, once you're in the flow of using it, but I've found that if you use it after a period of sort of hibernation, you leave it on standby, in your pocket, whatever, it's quite slow, especially this part where you unlock it. It does tend to lag quite a bit sometimes. It does come with some nice features bundled in. It's got the FM radio, we've got certain other features. It is bundled with Google Talk, Google Maps, we've got Foursquare as well, which I've seen in the market. It seems to be quite popular at the moment. Shazam, Wikipedia and YouTube, so you've got quite a bit bundled in there. I did have to get the Facebook app, but it is bundled with a sort of social networking hub, if you like, called SNS, which I found quite fiddly to use. It wasn't the best of applications to use on the phone. Like I said, I have found it quite slow in use sometimes. It does tend to crash quite a bit. It's not ideal if you're trying to call someone or do something quickly if it takes half an hour to load up. Like for example, the contacts usually does take a while to load up. It's loaded up straight away here, but it does usually take quite some time to load up, and I could do with it being a bit quicker, because it's almost every time I try and load it up, it's not doing it straight away. It's like I said, it is a cheap phone. I got this for about £120 from the O2 shop, so this is on O2, and you can't really expect the best for that sort of value, so it is a low-end Android phone. It's not really up there with your HTC Heroes or Desires or whatever. It's always good. I found it brilliant for the first time to be downloading the apps. There isn't much internal memory, so you can't get too many apps, but what you can get, it's obviously fantastic. That's obviously Android. It could be a bit more durable as well, I've found. I've dropped it and the whole thing just comes apart, the case comes off, the battery falls out. It's not ideal. Personally, I would have made this from steel instead of naff plastic, basically. We do have an SD card as well, mini SD. Bundled with it I got the 2 gig card, but no card reader unfortunately, so I've had to use one of my own adapters there, which they could have provided, personally. The battery life lasts about, I'd say, a day with regular use. That's how long it usually lasts with me. I found that I have to charge it almost every night, but that is sort of standard with these smartphones these days, that the battery doesn't last very long. Not much else to say really. Another thing actually is it doesn't have multi-touch, so it isn't ideal if you're one of those people who wants to play games on here with your mates, say air hockey, because we don't have multi-touch. It only recognises one touch on the screen at any one time, like a laptop keypad. It doesn't realise you doing both things with 2 different thumbs. It's not that sort of high end as some other Android devices. So if you are after gaming with your friends, playing air hockey, stuff like that, I'd sort of suggest that you go for the higher end, spend a bit more money, and something that's definitely got multi-touch, because this, it doesn't know how to do that, unless there's a patch or something out there or anything like that. I don't know. Well, I found that is it does hinder the use of some of the apps on the market. It does have a sleek design though, I'll say that. I can't feel it in my pocket, which is quite worrying sometimes. I'm used to having a bulkier phone than this, but I guess it does the job pretty well at being compact and slim and the like. But you know, it does the job quite well. It does what it says on the LG website. It says the LG Optimus, or the GT540, is a smart choice for first-time smartphone users with access to the exciting world of Android apps. Blah 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 blah. Also allows users to, you know, it's basically telling us that they want this phone to be an ideal first phone for people who are new to Android, and it does the job well. I mean, I'm new to Android. This is my first smartphone, basically. I broke the bank a bit, and it does the job pretty well. You can plug any headphones into here as well, so we've got a good sort of standard headphone jack for people who enjoy listening to the music. I would suggest putting any music you download onto the SD card though, because obviously the internal memory is quite limited. But yeah, it's not too bad. It's basically what you'd expect from your sort of standard low-end Android phone, and yeah. So definitely, I think for people who don't want to break the bank too much and get in a smartphone, but if you're after the more advanced features, higher speed, stuff like that, you know, I'd recommend you break the bank a little bit more and spend a little bit more money and get something that's faster or has multi-touch or caters for your needs a bit better than this phone.